It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll run with the backup. This is Williams. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun. And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. Yeah. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers, change up their timing, they're going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? If as a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you want one. You'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Freeman. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And all the way down to the 39. A big play on third down for the Falcons. 41 yards. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
Hey, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll air it out deep for Tom. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complementary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Robert Quinn able to drop him for a loss of 4. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
1 quarter down. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Now it's Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion by really... enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now it's Ryan. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now the pitch to Freeman. Freeman a first down and more. Freeman with a fast feet. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
21.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And they will run it with Michel. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Sony Michel, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Bryant's extra point up and good, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up and... big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They go play action here on first down. Being chased out left. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And now Ryan not happy about either their formation or the play call. Whatever the case, he's going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On second down, Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Malik Jackson. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On third down, Ryan. He's going to look deep down the field. So a minute 55 to go in the first half. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this is taking it. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum. Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. 3 first-half touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point. And it's now 21-7. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Switzer now to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And they'll run it here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So it's halftime here in New Orleans. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Switzer now to return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. This caught by Royal. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They toss to Freeman. Freeman with a fast feet. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Austin. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
On third down, Roethlisberger. He's got his man, Boyd. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Roethlisberger now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Roethlisberger. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And the Falcons grab it. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Here's Ryan. He finds his target, Royal. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. They come out here in the eye. Here's Ryan to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. In for the score. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. Uses the stiff arm. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
I would dare say that these guys will have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Able to push his way through. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. It's Patrick Robinson there on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Ryan on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, Roethlisberger. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Here's Roethlisberger. And he checks this one down to Williams. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He finds his man. It's Austin. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Roethlisberger now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Show that bench release and go. Set. White 80.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Saints have moved out in front.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Freeman again. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And hang on here. Freeman shaken up. Remaining on the ground after that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
Hey, let's go.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas. All game. Whoa! Pick it up. Let's get it. Oh, boy, I know you felt that one.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And it's up and good. They're in the 4th quarter in Denver. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Roethlisberger to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Here's Roethlisberger. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll. Now it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big 1st down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. He'll get this one to Switzer. And they'll get him down here at the 23. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Ryan. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to do, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Switzer now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Definitely, and I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.